Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Linda Joy Rose of rawfusionliving.com on behalf of livingtreecommunity.com. Today I'm making a special dinner for my guests, and what we're having are raviolis with pistachio pesto stuffing topped with a saffron cream sauce. Doesn't that sound great? It's a very gourmet dish. It's going to be mainly raw, a little bit of raw fusion in there, and I'll explain how I do that, and not difficult to make. The raviolis are going to be made with turnips. Turnips are very low in calories, they're low in fat, they're good carbs, and they're also very high in vitamin C. All you really have to do is just start peeling the ravioli on the hard outer fiber, and then you're going to slice it very thin. Now what I prefer to use is a mandolin, which is a slicing device that also protects your fingers too. And I use the very, very thinnest slice possible, which is a 1/32, and you can see how very, very thin these come out. And then you want to treat them a little bit to get them to soften, and we're going to use some of the Living Tree Community olive oils. I love all of these products. They have the best nut butters, and this olive oil is, believe me, it's the real deal. This is truly raw olive oil that hasn't been filtered or it hasn't been treated with any preservatives. It's fantastic. So you're just going to put a little bit on there. You can use a pastry brush, use a little bit of sea salt to let them start to kind of soften. And you can see that how very large they come out too. You can also cut them so that you have what's called mezzaluna, half moons, for your raviolis too. Now for the stuffing, we're going to use broccoli. You could use your broccoli completely raw, but this is where a little raw fusion comes in. We have something in raw fusion, better living through living foods, that we call tempering. And this is kind of a heat treating of the vegetable, which still keeps its nutritional profile intact, and it keeps it essentially raw. So you take your broccoli, and again, you also want to do some peeling of your broccoli, because it's always best if you can get off this outer layer. Whether you decide to use it completely raw or tempered, you would put it in a bowl and pour boiling water over it for about a minute. And then you want to rinse it with either cool water or get some ice cubes in there too. And you're going to use a little bit of that hot water with some saffron threads, because we're going to be making our saffron cream sauce later on. What I do is I blend in the food processor, I chop up this broccoli, and I add another one of Living Tree Community's great nut butters, which is sesame, tahini, and then I put in some nutritional yeast, which is a great way to get your vitamin B12s, some of their olive oil, maybe a little bit of water and some salt to soften it, and you get this pate. You will use, in one of these rounds, you'll use about a tablespoon of the pate in the center. And then in the center of that, we're going to use this pistachio pesto. This is fantastic. It is made not only with pistachios, but it also is made with sun-dried tomatoes and lots of great herbs and some Himalayan sea salt in there too. And you put about a little teaspoonful in the center. And then you cover it up, press it down, and you have this very lovely ravioli. You're going to serve all of this over some chopped up leeks that you've cleaned very well, and you've also drizzled the leeks with some of the olive oil and some salt too. So you cover up your little mezzaluna, and you're going to fill your plate, and you actually can heat that. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can put it in your oven, open up the oven, keep it at its lowest temperature, maybe for about an hour. If you have a dehydrator, you want to go to about 115 degrees or less, put it in your dehydrator, and a couple hours later, this is what you'll have. Everything's blended and melded, all the flavors, and you've gotten the softness in the turnip to make it a lot more like a ravioli. I'm going to make a saffron cream sauce using cashews. Living Tree Community has certified organic, truly raw cashews. I soak these for about an hour. It's about 1 cup of cashews. It's drained and rinsed. And I'm going to add, a little bit over a half a cup of water, and juice from 1 lemon. And the saffron, that we used a little bit of the boiling water over some saffron threads just to get the beautiful color and flavor to come out too. And we're going to put a little dash of garlic powder in it. I think fresh garlic would overtake the flavor of it, but you want just a little bit of garlic and some salt. You can always adjust the flavors after you run it. I'm going to run it and even let it get a little bit warm too. Over the raviolis. and a little bit of chopped Italian parsley. Here's our gourmet dinner. Compliments of livingtreecommunity.com, all of their fantastic ingredients. Check out rawfusionliving.com for many more recipes and to find the books, Raw Fusion, Better Living Through Living Foods, to find out how to blend all of the incredible benefits of the raw foods lifestyle with the comfort and the convenience of mainstream meals.